Welcome to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Hotner.
And I'm Brian Lynch.
How are you, Brian?
I'm good. We're going to do another episode today, but our guest couldn't make it.
That's true. We had some last minute scheduling changes, some illnesses, and now we're here. But we decided to record an episode anyways. And we said, what should we do? I know the answer. We should do one of Brian's movies.
I disagree with that we should do this because I would like to research and write out things so I'm more prepared because I have many stories from this movie. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to give it my best shot.
And I think it will be fun for you to be just watching it fresh and it'll pop into your brain.
Trip down memory lane.
Trip down
memory lane.
Triple down memory lane.
See, if I wrote that out ahead of time, I could have just read it and it would have been fine.
So we're going to watch Hop.
Because it's Easter.
It's Easter time. It's a movie that came out in 2008.
No, it came out in 2011, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be clear up top. I have not seen this movie.
I want to be clear up top. I've seen it a lot.
Yes.
April 1st, 2011 it came out. It came out April Fool's Day.
Wow.
It was the number one movie for like a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then it came out a month before Easter. And then, so when Easter Sunday came around, it was the number one movie for that weekend too. It rebounded.
That's rare.
So fuck you, Mom. I am successful.
If you've never listened to this podcast before, this is a show where we do commentaries on movies and TV shows with people who made them who never got to do commentaries on them before.
Right.
And sometimes it's fun because one of the co-hosts gets to do it on a movie that he worked on.
Has to do it.
Doesn't have a choice.
Right.
We are paying the engineer. We have to do an episode.
I was the co-writer on this. I was brought in second.
Okay, well, let's save that for while
I'm
we're
just
watching.
letting you know. I'm not the only writer. I don't want to take full credit for what you're about to see.
I'm excited to watch it, though.
Don't be.
I'm excited to watch it and talk about it with you.
Mm-hmm.
We should talk about... We have a Patreon for this show.
We do.
And we have a lot of cool things that you can get on there. You can find out who's coming on early. You can submit questions for us to ask. You can do a commentary on your favorite movie or TV show with me if you want.
I may do it if I have the time too.
Brian may do it if he has time.
Look, I'm busy.
I've edited the commentaries on top of the movies on there, so you can watch the movies with the
have
commentaries
you?
on there. Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, there's a few of them on there. There's a lot of stuff that you can get on there, and I think it's very fun, and people should go check it out. It's patreon.com/commentary.
Well, also some signed stuff too.
Oh yeah, signed stuff. If you hit a certain tier, you'll get a few signed things throughout the year from our guests and us and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But go check it out because I think it's worth your time and a cool little thing that we're building over there. Also, if you're enjoying the show and you haven't left a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to it, go leave a little review. Just leave a few words, leave a few stars, and 5 stars.
A few stars.
A few, meaning 5.
Mm-hmm.
But we really appreciate it, and it helps people find the show and know that the show is actually worth listening to because, the more reviews, the more legit a thing seems. So.
I left a review on iTunes.
Oh, that's good.
And I was honest that I'm on it in my review. And I also left a review on Yelp. And we're not on there, but I did it under Medicino Farms, but I just talked about our podcast.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. What did you say?
5 stars. Great podcast. And then they put it up.
That's great.
I didn't mention which one it was.
You really messed up,
I really
man.
Fucked up. They might probably think I'm talking about Rogan. Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a good podcast.
Great podcast.
We're going to start this movie, though.
Oh. Okay.
It's available definitely on Amazon, maybe some other places, but as we were watching this, it is available on Amazon to rent. Also available on physical media. Of course, you can buy
I have the Blu-ray. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the specifics of the Blu-ray when the movie starts.
All right, you ready?
No.
We're going to count down from 3 and then say go, and then you will press play. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, the movie has started. I already have a story.
Now let's hear it.
The universal globe is egg-shaped, and that was written in my script because I want to every movie I make, I want to change the studio logo. That cost $60,000, which cost the entire budget of the last movie I made, which was Big Helium Dog, which cost $60,000. I got it out of it. By the way, at the premiere, this got the biggest response. The Minions.
So wait, this was your first movie post Big Helium Dog that got made?
Puss in Boots and this came out the same year. I think this
okay.
came out first. But I sold a lot, but then this is the next. Yeah. Okay, this is the intro where James Marsden is currently narrating. We should be hearing, or at least reading the subtitles.
Yes.
James Marsden is saying basically what's going to happen in the movie, that he is the first human Easter Bunny. This was not in the script, but after the first test screening, the audience got really mad when he said, well, I want to be the Easter Bunny. And we realized they didn't know going in that he was going to take over there's a whole point of the movie is the human's going to be the Easter Bunny.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you.
You didn't know that either?
I didn't know that either.
The audience got really mad. No, we want to see a bunny do it. Wow. Our solution was, we're just going to tell the audience right up front that this is happening, and it worked. Our scores went way up. I don't know. It worked.
It's kind of crazy when silly little changes like that can completely affect the outcome of the movie.
Right. So we had James record this. We had Russell Brand, who's the voice of EB, record this. Yes. And we had, whose house? What's his name?
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie, who's Russell Brand's dad, the current Easter Bunny, recorded, and we picked the one that fit, and James was the best one. This was actually shot in Hawaii on a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's by the cinematographer. The director and I were not allowed to go. And it was my tribute to the Muppet movie, where you have to zoom in and you have to really look for the animal playing the instrument.
That's fun.
Yeah, there's a bunny playing a drum, and I'm the only one that said let's do a Muppet movie tribute, even though the director Tim Hill directed Muppets from Space,
of course, and
I bugged him about it forever and ever because he got real sick of Muppet questions from me.
I get that.
There he is. There's the little rabbit playing. This is do you know who Swampy Marsh is?
Yeah.
He makes a lot of animated shows.
Yeah.
This is his son doing the voice of young EB.
Oh.
And he's not British, and he does a really good job of it. I don't know if you know this. This is the rabbit's CG.
Oh. I would not have picked up on that. I appreciate you.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Swampy Marsh co-created Phineas and Ferb.
That's right.
Yes.
So these huge Easter Island heads, not CG.
Really?
And I wanted one, and they would not give me one.
Now, did they film this in Hawaii too?
No, this was on it's a place called The Lot in West Hollywood, next to Target. I call it the Stabby Target because someone was stabbed there when I was there once. And this was great. They were also shooting the last season or the second to last season of True Blood when we were recording this or filming this. So James Marsden got to hang out with Anna Paquin, and I got to see X-Men reunions every couple of days.
That's very fun.
Right. My credit's coming up. I'll say it. Don't worry.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I am not the first writer on this. I was supposed to be help do a comedy punch-up for 6 weeks, and it turned into a 2.5-year gig. It kept. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to be on set. I didn't think I was going to get credited, and then about a year in, I realized maybe I'll get credited.
Now, I mean, obviously, it's nice when that happens because you get paid more.
Right.
Is that exciting for you, or is that something where you're like, oh, okay, now I'm on this for 2 years. My life is different than what I thought.
I was so excited. First of all, I'm a huge fan of Tim Hill because I love his Muppets. I love his Muppet movie. And I love, by the way, he's one of the major guys behind SpongeBob. He was he's wonderful and a super nice guy. So it was really fun to learn from him. Two editors for Hop, 2 different rooms back to back.
It's a very edit-heavy movie.
Well, we definitely had a date to hit because you can't release this in the summer. Unlike in France, where they released this in the summer and just removed any Easter stuff from the posters and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a lot of conversations with candy companies.
Sure. They
actually read my script and made me take out 2 lines.
Because you mentioned a specific candy brand, or why?
Chris Meledandri. I'm still working with Chris on everything, so I'll be real careful about what I say about this movie. Well, no, because I insult certain kinds of candy.
Oh, wow.
I said at one point, if too much candy is not good for you, and they said, please take that line out because, in some there's a lot of health benefits to eating candy.
Now, the candy companies said that?
Yes. Yep.
Did you guys? But you didn't.
There's Cinco and Ken, by the way, wrote the story, wrote the first couple drafts, and then they went on to Despicable Me 1, I think maybe 2 by the end of it. So I took over. This is my credit. Hey, that's me. That was my first credit in a big way. Like Big Helium Dog obviously was real fun, but that was just so weird to see. This is all real. This is all practical. There's not one practical thing in this shot.
Did you have to listen to those candy companies, though? I want to go back
We
to
took
this.
out 2 lines. There was that line, and there was another line where I made fun of white chocolate. A character was bound in it, and he said, we can eat our way out. And the guy said, maybe you didn't hear me. It's white chocolate. And they said, take it out. People like white chocolate. By the way, I like white chocolate.
I like white chocolate too.
But I thought it was funny because it's generally. So if you see it, we'll get to that line. It's towards the end. It's black licorice. Are these? He goes, are these
better.
ropes
That's maybe
black licorice? He goes, maybe you didn't hear me. Oh, I think actually Hugh Laurie ad-libbed instead of maybe you didn't hear me. He said, oh, maybe you can, and he makes a face or something. I don't remember, but. This is the marshmallow chick machine, otherwise known as the Peep machine, in the script. But then we sent the script to Peeps, and they said, "We don't need you. We're Peeps." So those little chicks were actually made for 2 years for a tie into the movie, and were huge money makers for whatever company, and Brock's or something. Yeah, I forget. But it was the Peep machine. We couldn't call it
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Who else did people sign off though? Like, did you have?
Oh, sure. I mean, we saw Hershey's Kisses in the opening.
Yeah.
The other thing is they make Easter candy all year round, and they sent it to us for 2 years. It was in our production studio, so I got sick of Easter candy.
Course.
But the little Cadbury has a deal on this one. This is Phil, and then the other chick is Carlos. They're both voiced by Hank Azaria.
Oh, okay.
Probably shouldn't have been. Carlos probably should have been someone from maybe a Latin flavor.
Yes.
But he was fantastic. Really easy to work with. We had 2 other actors, and they both didn't work out. I'll tell you once we're done recording who they were. I recorded with both, and they were lovely people. Yeah. And that Hugh Laurie is the voice of the dad there. And that's the Egg of Destiny that he's holding.
Yes.
I had to come up with a title for it, so I put the temporary name of Egg of Destiny because I had just watched Tenacious D's movie.
That's what I was going to
thinking they were going, of course we'll come up with another name for it. Not only did we not, but Brock's also made an Egg of Destiny candy, a big one. If you break it open, there's more candy inside.
Did you guys have conversations about changing it, or it was just something that just happened?
Like this keeps going.
Yeah,
you're just not worried about that at that point. This is not Van Nuys, California. This is Pasadena.
Okay.
My wife is so annoyed that we tried to pass this off as Van Nuys because it does not look anything like Van Nuys.
It looks like Pasadena.
It's Pasadena. This is Day for Night.
Now, why did you make it Van Nuys?
Because I lived in Van Nuys, and I thought it was funny.
Amazing. This is Day for Night. This looks good.
Yeah, it does. It looks pretty good. The O'Hare, I did not name him O'Hare. That was Cinco and Ken. It's funny because he's going to be the Easter Bunny.
Someone on Reddit
go ahead.
mad at us for talking about Day for Night because I think it was during our American Graffiti episode, and I said nobody does it anymore. The last time I remember seeing it is Twin Peaks, and I got
it's
a
huge.
lot of flack for it on the Blankies subreddit.
Right.
So, thanks guys.
They are right though. It is done.
No, I know.
The fact that he has a car bed, he has a race car bed. It was written into the script because we originally had a scene where Fred still sleeps in it when he's older as James Marsden.
Funny.
He does live with his parents still, but the joke being that he really hasn't moved on.
Of course.
And we shot the scene, and I really liked it. But that was one of the first things I ever wrote that I showed up to the set and I saw. I'm like, oh, I write something, and it just appears. It was pretty cool.
The sleigh. What do you want to call that?
The egg sleigh.
Looks like it would be a good popcorn bucket.
Oh, it would have been neat.
So when you got the first call for this, they said we want you to come in and just do jokes for this or whatever. How much of the script was different when you started?
Quite a bit, and the whole third act was not worked out. They didn't know.
Okay.
So, by the way, there's a Totoro in one of the baskets, and we had to ask the Ghibli company, and they did let us put it in.
Wow.
Yeah, because Chris Meldandri, the exec producer and the producer of this movie, is such a fan of Miyazaki that was his little thing. Yeah, no, it was a lot different, and I like to think that we made it. I think I made it funnier, and everyone was a little more likable. In the first draft, everybody was a little like "fuck you," no, "fuck you," not literally that. That would be a weird kids movie if the Easter Bunny's telling people to fuck off. Although Russell, that's probably the kind of movie he'd get made now. This is this Elizabeth Perkins as the mom, Bonnie, named after my mom. That's Tiffany. She is now married with a child. That's how long this movie is done. That's Kaylee Kawako.
Kaylee Kawako.
She has not done anything since this. I feel bad. I've not seen her in anything. She's the nicest. And
the king.
Gary Cole.
The king of kings.
Named
there.
Named Henry because it's my favorite name long before I had my son.
Amazing.
Because I love the name Henry. Gary Cole is the coolest person. Actually, everyone at the table... Almost everyone at the table is the coolest. They're so easy to work with, so nice. Marsden never ever presented a problem. Like everything's like, I just want to understand why I'm saying it, and I'll do it.
I mean, I've never met Marsden. I've never worked with him, but the respect for him after jury duty just jumped up so much, just because you're like, oh, you're so funny and willing to just do it.
That's the big thing.
Which rules.
There are parts in this movie that are so silly and just he's a cool person in real life.
He's very funny in the Sonic movies too.
If it's funny and true to the character that he has, he'll do it. Gary Cole's the same. I mean, Gary Cole, by the way, I worked with him for 3 weeks on this, 2 weeks, and then I ran into him on the lot when we were doing post-production, and I'm like, hey, do you want to see what we're working on? He's like, yeah, okay. And we walked upstairs, and I'm like, here's some finished shots, and he's like, oh, this looks good. He wasn't in any of the shots, and I'm like, yeah, it's looking good, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm going to go, and he went down to wherever he was going. Turns out he didn't remember me. He was being polite.
Oh no!
And I because he works so much,
of course,
right? And it was pretty amazing.
We got to get him for this.
I don't think he'd remember stories.
Oh sure.
I would like to do Brady Bunch with him.
Yeah,
that'd be really fun.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great.
So great.
She was great.
Has she done anything else?
She was in the first Spider-Man. She's one of the kids in the group, in the science group. In Peter and MJ's and
Toby Spider-Man.
No. Andrew. No. The next one.
Tom?
Thank you. Yeah,
oh,
Tom.
Wow.
Yeah, she's one of the main kids.
Oh.
If the movies kept going, she would have become Silk. If her character.
Oh,
because she was the same name as Silk.
Interesting.
The movies have kept going. Yeah. So I don't know what I was talking about. Marvel's doing very well. They're still making movies.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're kicking him out here because he has lived here since he was a little kid and he hasn't made anything of himself. And in the original script, he said he gets up and the scene ends with him going, well, thanks for nothing. And the mom goes, well, we gave you a lot of love and support. And he goes, okay, thanks for the love and support. But other than that, thanks for nothing. The dad goes, we gave you a lot of money. He goes, thanks for the money and the love and support. And other than that, and he kept adding things. And it was a jerk. It was the jerk. It was exactly the jerk.
Of course.
And Marsden came up to me and was like, how do you want me to play this? And I said, first of all, I'm not the director. And he said, yeah, but how do you want me to play this? And I showed him, he and I watched the jerk scene on YouTube. And he was like, he nailed it. And I'm so sad it's not in there. And it's not on the Blu-ray. It was so funny.
Do you know why?
I'm not even kidding. This is a practical set as well.
Really?
This is a full practical set. And there's no humans in it.
Now, like when that door opens, did you guys Roger Rabbit it?
Or I think that's a CG door, I think.
Oh, wow. But now, why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I was so happy to walk around this tiny little room they made, but because honestly, you have to crouch to get in. It's made for little people or little bunnies.
Yeah,
shouldn't be because we're not really putting bunnies in there. But yeah, it's a real thing.
I mean, it does. You can tell that it's real. Like,
okay, well that's good then.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I guess I like that it's real.
Oh, me too. Well,
I like that you can tell that it's a real thing.
Do you know that I didn't take any pictures of like me in the room? I was so nervous at any point to get in trouble.
Yeah.
That I was just like, no, I can't do it.
What do you think this, you're on set for this more so than almost any other movie except for Big Helium Dog.
Sure. Like, Chasing Amy when I was craft service.
Yeah. What was your big takeaway from like what did you learn being on this set that I guess you never had to bring into another production again
Not
after
yet.
this?
Yeah, that's true. You're true. That's right. I don't know. I really liked that working out the problems. I loved doing it. I thought when you got to set, everybody had everything worked out, and if I wasn't ready, I was going to be fired. I didn't sleep the night before. I had such bad acid reflux, I couldn't. And then I got there, and I was like, oh, we're all just doing. By the way, Real Globe tried to steal it. Wouldn't let me. They said we might need it for another movie. It's in the Universal prop department.
What are you talking about?
Know,
we might.
This was shot on the Universal backlot.
Yeah,
it's actually the Mexican town made to look like the Chinese town. And we got to. It was when the park was closed.
That's cool.
And when the lot was closed, it was nighttime, and it was. I remember going like, "This is what I always pictured.
Yeah,
like this is what I always hoped I'd be doing. Yeah, turning Mexico into China. Yeah, and it was really neat.
How much were you around for the character design?
Obviously, really talented people at Rhythm and Hughes and Chris Bailey did a lot of the characters, and Peter DeSev. It was an insane group of people. I got them. I saw them when the director saw them, and when Chris saw them for the first time. That's one of the best parts about Illumination. I think I mentioned it when we did Pets 2. Is that you're really allowed to be part of the conversation.
Yeah. Pets 2, which is a future episode coming out, which you guys have not heard yet.
But I wonder if they will have by the time this.
Probably
goes
not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and originally, I forget how EB originally was supposed to get to America, and we just made it very quickly. We were like, let's just have him jump in a rabbit hole, and then it becomes a little cartoon for a second, and it was a very cheap solution to like, how are we going to make it look good, and then we didn't. It kind of jumps into the
is this Easter Island? That's
where they live in Easter Island. Yeah, thanks for your support, Patrick, for not watching it.
Well, I thought
then it goes into the little.
Oh, that's fun. I thought it said Fiji earlier.
It's right off of Fiji. I think
okay.
I said.
Okay.
I don't remember. So then he programs it. He programs it to go to Hollywood, and of course, if you do that, you wind up right outside the Hollywood sign. Also,
Not
a real
Van Nuys.
a real set, We built half of 2 letters.
Oh wow!
It was so cool up in the Hollywood Hills. It was really
interesting.
It's also a big lie that it's lit up like that. It is never lit up like that, and people commented on that.
So how much of it was on that back lot in West Hollywood?
Almost none of it. No,
almost none of it.
No. We did this in a real house.
Yeah.
We took it over.
Which is funny because it looks like a fake house.
Yeah. Why is
it?
That?
It looks like a backlot house.
You know why? Because they made it look so perfect, so pretty with the flowers and stuff.
And the lighting and everything.
It's interesting. I think, I don't know if you've ever seen Chris Columbus talk about the making of Home Alone, but if you look the whole house, like every wallpaper, every tablecloth is red or green because even though it's the family doesn't celebrate Christmas all year, he wanted to look like Christmas. That's what they want to do with this, is make it look like Easter. Like you feel Easter, so it's very springy and colorful. This was great. These two are really great together. They were 2 of the easiest people to work with that I've ever worked with. I feel so bad because Kaylee has since disappeared from
she really
Hollywood.
does nothing.
She's not doing a thing. They got along really well too. This was their first time meeting, and there were a couple drafts. They're brother and sister in the movie, and there were a couple drafts where they were boyfriend and girlfriend. We tried it, and I thought it worked really well. But we find that kids get real uncomfortable with romance subplots in movies, so they're brother and sister. But they would have
any
been
of your movies have romance?
I always like subtle romance subplots that nobody else notices. Like I think a couple of the Minions are dating.
Pets does too.
Pets. I guess it's Max and Gidget a little bit.
Oh no, I meant the humans also.
Well, it has a background like they get married so they can have a kid.
Well, that's romantic.
Just to get it. Yeah, I guess so. Puss in Boots did.
Getting married is romantic, Brian.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, but Puss in Boots had it. The first one with Salma and Antonio. This is exposition.
Do you like writing exposition?
What?
Do you like writing exposition?
No. My solution writing exposition is you write it really bad the first time and then you make it funny the next. And hopefully we did it here. We needed a deadline for this guy to get his life together, and it is such a weird thing. He goes like, Easter's in a couple weeks. I'll get my life together by Easter, and it's hopefully because it's the best actor ever saying it. Like, we get it. We get it.
Do you only use that theory for exposition or for the we'll talk about this in a second.
This is not the Playboy Mansion.
Yes.
It's right across the street from the Fred's house, basically. There's a new gate. The second unit shot this. And that is of course Hugh Hefner's voice. We recorded his stuff at the Playboy Mansion. I got to sit with him, and the first thing he said to me, he goes, "I love that Despicable Me." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't work. It's good, right?" He goes, "My friend looks like Gru." I was like, all right, like, okay, cool. You'll never guess what he was wearing when he recorded.
I'm going to guess it was probably like a velvet robe.
Yeah. Oh my God. You were there.
That's
crazy. Yeah. This is all.
So wait, but hang on. But you went, let's talk about this a little bit more.
Playboy Mansion.
How long were you there? How long did you
2 hours, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Super nice. And then we walked around the grotto. They actually have giant, like 2-foot bunnies. They actually do have real.
Interesting.
The furry bunnies, not like little people bunnies that worked for him.
Fake moon?
That is a fake moon, Patrick. That is correct. This is actually right outside the house that he's about to pull up. If you look, it is a real house, but they added a CGI second level.
Okay.
I don't know why. I guess they had to make it look like a small city.
Where is this house?
This is in Westlake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were great. The people we got to, anytime you see them in the house, be it the pool, like the workout, the garage, it is actually literally the house. We did fill a room with soap, and they were okay with it at one point. They had weird Republican paintings like paintings of famous Republicans in one room.
Oh, like all the guys playing poker together?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was before Trump, so let's do that. And then the weird one was there was an actual hair salon in the bottom because the wife was
Barbara Streisand's house.
Maybe the wife. I could tell you who it is now.
Yeah,
real quick, the wife I think was her daughter wanted to be a hairstylist, so they built a salon facsimile, like in Richie Rich, how he has a McDonald's. It was like that.
This is very funny.
This was great. Yeah, his solution.
He's gonna kill him.
His solution to hitting a rabbit is to put him out of his misery. He does not question that the thing has clothes on. By the way. And there was a line where he did, and he recorded it, and I love it, and they got rid of it.
Russell recorded it.
No.
Marston recorded
it? He goes,
okay.
He's talking to God, and he's like, please accept this clothed animal into your like. But we cut it. I was the voice of EB here on set, and there is a ad lib that made it in that Russell recorded, which I'm pretty happy about. I was half the time EB voice.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Marsden kept asking me to do it because usually when you get somebody on set to do it, they overdo it because they want to make an impact. Yeah. And Marsden said, if you do it the way I talk like I'm talking now, he'll get to adjust and figure out how wacky to make it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This
Sweet.
is fun.
So whose house is this?
Is it now?
Yeah.
It's not like on record as to where it is,
so.
right? It's Chris Nolan bought this house and the house across, and now has a huge compound. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. By the way, I love how giant the frying pan is. It could have been a smaller one. Tim Hill wanted to go with the biggest. Tim was great. When Tim first met me, Tim didn't like me, and asked,
how did you first meet?
On this, I had written for a couple weeks, and then Tim came in and had read my pass, and I think Tim didn't like the direction that I was told to go in. I wasn't like, this is what I'm doing. And then we started talking it out, and I consider him a really good friend now. But at first I think he was like, I don't want this to be my guy. And then we were literally stuck together for 2 years, and I love the guy. I really do. And not Hollywood love. I do love the guy.
Yeah.
I'm in love with him.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
I'm not really in love with him. I don't get this line. He says, what is this?
Yeah.
And Fred very specifically says turkey jerky. And I think I wrote turkey jerky or didn't change it. I don't know if I wrote that line or not, because I think the line is just funny sounding. But why would Fred be specific as to what kind of jerky? It bothers me. I don't know why that bothers me.
But you wrote it.
I know. I didn't think to change it, but watching it now, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wants carrots, and they just happen to be right there, out.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
How much discussion was given to EB's costume?
So much. It's the shirt was the thing that was like.
That's what I'm curious about.
We're trying to make it so he clearly doesn't want to be the Easter Bunny. He wants to be. He's a kid, and he wants to.
Is it a Pancakes shirt?
It's Stax. It's Stax Records. It's an old record company.
Oh.
And I remember there was an article online about how much money Universal must have gotten for this movie because there's so much product placement. I can tell you now that we did not get product. We did not get money for the chocolate stuff. We didn't get money for we had to pay money for the Stax shirt. Like but that's the one. And he had different color flannels and stuff. And that's what landed on. I think he looked the cutest.
Why was Stax the thing that got chosen though?
It looked right. It felt
cool.
Right. He wants to be a drummer in the movie.
Yeah.
And we also did a couple passes where EB wanted to be an actor. And I thought they were actually funnier. But the director pointed out very rightfully, he's correct, that if EB wanted to be an actor, all he had to do was go, I can talk, by the way, and he'd get whatever part he wants. So there's no struggle.
Of course.
But a drummer, that takes some effort.
Sure.
So that's Russell was only on set one day because he has a cameo later on, but he recorded he recorded once with James before we filmed. So James knew what he was getting into, basically. Yeah, well, yeah. And then me or Tim recorded with Russell. We'd always do the voice to him, and then I would be with. I did this scene with Jim too, with James.
How did you like doing that?
No,
it's a little bit of acting.
Well, I wanted if there needed to be jokes, I wanted to be ready to do that. If I'm doing that, I'm concentrating on something else. But I got to ad lib, and they're in there. And James had ad libs back to it, and they're in there. This is a lot. Russell made this a lot funnier than it was. I didn't write that. I'm not smart enough to write that medieval conditions line. That's Russell. I don't know what happened to Russell. I'm assuming he's still very nice and normal.
I think he's doing fine.
He was.
I think he's doing
incredibly nice when I worked with him. I
Uh-huh.
had to fly out to England to record. He recorded in LA a lot, but one time he couldn't be out for a while, so we recorded in England. And I flew out. My wife flew out with me, not with him. Although that makes
Sure.
for a funny movie idea. No, we recorded. We recorded with Russell, and Russell met Carrie and did not hit on her. That's not where the story's going. But emailed me that night and was like, how lovely she is. And by the way, when you're here, is there anything you want to do?
Oh.
I can hook you up with anything you want to do. And I said, I'd like to do Blow. No, I said, I asked Carrie and she said, I kind of want to go Apple Studios. I want to do a tour of that. And I wanted to go to the Tate Modern. So I emailed back. He's like, yeah, I can do both of those. And I'm like, oh, okay. We only had a day. And the next morning, Carrie and I, before it, we worked with Russell, went to Tate Modern, and I went to the window and we said, hi, we have tickets waiting for us. And they go, okay, what name is it under? I go, Brian Lynch. Nope. I go, maybe because it's girl. Maybe Russell did it with my wife's name. Carrie Beck. No. And I go, one of my friends did this for me. And they go, who was it? And I go, no. And they go, no, who was it? I go, it was Russell Brand. And Russell's all over England at that point. Like in the subway, there's pictures for Bookie Wook and stuff like.
Yeah.
And the lady just looked at me and went, who is it? And I said, Russell Brand. I'm working on something with him. And she went, it's not listed here. And I go, okay, that's fine. She goes, just go. If it is, I don't want to get in trouble. Just go. So we got in Tate Modern. I don't know if he ever called. What he did though, when I was working with him on the movie, Carrie did get a backstage, basically, tour of Apple Studios.
That's amazing.
And it made her day.
Did you go?
I was working with him. I was recording.
Oh.
And he was super nice. So that's nice. So I don't know what happened to him since. I can't talk about that because I don't know. But
you should keep up with the people that you work with more.
Well,
it feels like you
they're
just
hugely disappointing.
You kick them to the curb. It feels like
right. Hank Azaria here when he has a scene later with James Marsden. Not him, his character,
of course.
And I don't think Hank knew that Marsden was playing Fred. And he was so excited. He goes, "That's Cyclops. You have Cyclops in the movie." I'm like, that's Hank. That's right, Hank. By the way, this song right now, this is Chris Leonard who did the score, and it is talking about the movie. It's a rap song about the movie.
Cool.
And that's how you know I worked on it as well, because I was any movie from the 80s, for instance, Dragnet or Ghostbusters that mentions plot in their movie, I'm very happy about.
That Dragnet song's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's
City of Crime.
Yeah.
I wanted to record a movie or a music video.
I mean, it
like
feels like this feels
said,
like
Brian,
the movie.
Shut up. And I said, okay.
Who's that guy? Why do I recognize?
I don't know.
that
He's
guy?
a stunt guy, and
he looks familiar.
Super nice too.
All right, who do we got here? Let's talk about these girls.
This is the Pink Berets.
Yes.
They are sent to fetch EB. They do the bidding of the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
I had to come up with the names for them, and they're not said in the movie except in the rap song. And I believe their names are Fluffy, Bit, and Bit, because the British it leans a little.
Okay.
Fluffy, Bit, and there's another one that sounds dirty, and I didn't realize it, and everyone made fun of me for not knowing it sounded dirty. Fluffy, Bit, and
I'm pulling it up right now.
Please do it. And they originally had dialogue, and then we cut all the dialogue because it was too much. And then originally they were going to, they do the rabbit noises, but there was going to be subtitles, and we cut that.
Okay.
And because we don't want to make kids read whenever they're like on. And then we had Loop Group do sounds, and we had boys do them and girls do it.
Okay.
And then I was literally, Tim goes, Brian, I'm going to make you do it in front of the boy group and the girl group. Okay. Yeah. Which did you like better? And I said, I have no problem doing it. I thought the boy was great, but it has to be the girls. We have so few girls in this movie.
Totally.
They're girls in the movie. Let's make it girls. By the way, Jojo, thank you. Just pointed out it's Patch. Yeah. Fluffy, Bit, and Patch, which Tim made fun of me forever for not understanding how sexual those names are. Or not sexual, or like, I don't know. I mean, are they? I don't know.
So. I wouldn't have.
This is Fred having to feed the dogs for his sister's boss. And if you see, the pillows have their names, Baby and Daisy, on it. And that was literally the first time I had seen something written that I had come up with. The other thing was, and I couldn't believe it. And I tried to steal the doggy bed, and they wouldn't let me. That's so a stunt
weird.
Man.
They wouldn't let you.
That's a stunt man.
Oh,
and they told Marsden, if one does bite down, let us know. And you'll see later on the dogs chase them, and it's just one dog because one dog was very aggressive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But those are trained dogs, obviously. They were
great.
Yeah.
But by the way, whenever I pass by the
trained
cage,
so well that it's doing what we told them.
One was angry. I walked by the cage to get food, and it would go like it was mad.
Oh, wow.
But the other one was perfectly calm. This is Hole. This is a song by Hole is playing currently.
Great.
And EB is playing Rock Band. That's a real fall.
That was
he
a good
He didn't
fall.
tell us he was going to do it.
That was a great fall.
He's the best. And this is a room we messed up, but it gets worse. He's playing Rock Band.
Yes, of course.
What a terrible house guest this guy is. He told him to be in the garage, and he's staying in the bedroom. Remember how good Rock Band was?
Yeah.
That was so fun.
We didn't have Rock Band. We had a Guitar Hero.
I had Guitar Hero, too.
Yeah.
You're right. Is that Rock Band or Guitar Hero?
That is Rock Band.
That is Rock Band. Somebody got really mad at me online because when he paused it doesn't say paused. Oh. I didn't have the heart to tell him that was a green screen. That is added later.
They got mad at you?
Yeah, well, they didn't go like, how dare the second writer not pause it, but they got mad at the movie.
I mean, technically third writer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they're a team. And then
I guess they get paid as one.
They're one.
Is that why you're not in a writing duo?
That's the only reason.
So you can get all the money?
I have to split money.
That's what I'm saying.
Split
you
money
get all the
and credit. No
yeah.
way. Look how pretty he is. He's a handsome guy.
He's a handsome guy. And I think we're the first one to ever say this. Here's the soap that you filled this room.
That's real. That is not CG. We did that to the room. We did not let them upstairs while we were filming it, though.
But they knew it was going to happen.
They knew.
Now, when you rent a house out to someone like that, do they read the script?
I think they may have. I think they may have.
Just because I'm assuming you shoot so much here.
We shot a lot here.
Yeah.
We were there for a couple, and it was great because the place was so big. This is the Runyon Canyon. We'll go back to the house stories in a sec. Runyon Canyon. I had no idea I knew this much about this movie still.
Yeah, this is great.
Runyon Canyon, we had a rattlesnake clearer, wrangler, and he goes to James Marsden, hey, just so you know, there were 3 rattlesnakes. We saw 3, and we got 2 of them. And he was not kidding. And Marsden was like, what? Really? Okay. Like,
oh, wow.
So, yeah. And our location, what is it called when you have a location and you go and you base?
Oh,
where you
sure.
can hang
base
out,
camp, yeah.
was the director of Grease, his house.
Randall Kleiser?
Yes. And
wow.
we hung out with him during breaks.
Also the director of Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
That's a Getty image right there, by the way.
That's cool.
Yep.
I saw him at a screening. I went to a screening of a short film that John Travolta was in.
What was it?
It was a Christmas-themed short film that he'd been trying to make for 40 years. And Randall Kleiser was there just because he wanted to see his friend John, right? Mm-hmm. So we're at the party afterwards. It was like a PGA screening. And I went up and I talked to Randall. And I was like, I need to tell you, you directed... Well, I don't need to tell you this part. You directed Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
That's great.
And... which was a 3D show at Disney World.
Right.
And when I was a kid, my parents had to take me out of it because I got too scared. And I said, there's a cat that turns into a lion because it's so big. Like,
yeah,
you think it's like a big cat that's attacking you. And I got really freaked out. And he got so excited because he said, my brother-in-law did all those special effects.
Aww.
And then he just started talking about the special effects. That's my Randall Kleiser story.
He couldn't have been sweeter.
He was very nice.
Your impression of him was pretty much his energy all day.
Yeah. I believe...
Here's EB shitting jelly
someone
beans,
might
by
correct
the way.
me on this. I believe he was George Lucas's college roommate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just want to point out EB shit jelly beans. That was in the first draft.
Uh-huh.
Everyone loved it.
Sure.
I didn't know what to think about it,
I think it's funny.
I thought it was funnier because I thought it was funny when EB was going to look a little more magical. In my head, EB was going to be magical looking.
Yeah.
When a normal rabbit shitting candy.
Yeah.
He
lived with George during college.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. We should get him,
but
not talk about a movie. Just talk about his experiences. But there is a toy, by the way, you can get of EB, and you push the ears, and he poops out jelly bean candy. Course. This is Fred flashing back. I never got why Fred's flashback had a point of view of Fred looking at Fred. I never got it, but it's not up to. That's not my call. This was actually shot. All of it was shot at Runyon Canyon. This is Blue Screen Car, and it was shot on my birthday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the producers gave me an iPad.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. Missy Imperato Stabile,
right?
who's now head of Warner Brothers production.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And she did the Ghostbusters with the ladies.
I worked on that movie.
I know. She mentioned you.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And she also said, Brian, I worked on that horrible... This is not my first holiday movie. I worked on that horrible Bill Murray Christmas movie. And I went, Missy, you have to back up because that was amazing. That's a great movie. She's like, people like that? I'm like, oh, boy. Yep. She also worked on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
I worked on Ghostbusters for one night. Mm-hmm. Lady Ghostbusters, one night.
I love that it's Lady Ghostbusters.
Yep. It was second unit, and everything I worked on got cut.
Oh,
and
man.
I was coming out of a show at the Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles, and a man came up to me with a large Funko Pop from the Lady Ghostbusters and said, "Excuse me, Patrick, will you sign this?" And it was signed by multiple members of the cast.
Wow.
And I said, "Absolutely, I will." And it absolutely devalued it for when he
No.
tries to sell it on eBay,
No.
which is 100% what that guy's going to do.
Wow. This is Westlake Village, right near Fred's house.
Okay.
It is. If you guys watch The Office,
Yes.
there's a lot of people in the room. I'm saying you guys. It
Yes,
seems like
yes,
it's just me
yes.
and Patch. You know Saber when
Yeah.
it's, but that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
building that was Saber.
Oh, okay.
This was fun. This is also the same building when they go inside. Usually, in Movie Magic, it is not, but this I think it was. No, it wasn't. Brian, don't lie. Why are you lying to impress these people? It's not at all. It's near it though. We needed him to stay in the car, and
Was his parents' house, was that the inside of that house?
Yeah.
Or that was the set?
that was all
was all
in
inside the house?
Pasadena. This lady's awesome. This is named Mrs. Beck after my wife.
Great.
My wife said, "Please stop doing that," and I said, "Okay." No, she was very excited about it. And this lady's awesome. She gives a dead-eyed face that makes me real happy. Right there. She's wonderful. And
Do you sit in on auditions for roles like that?
No, I watched the tapes on her.
Yeah, okay.
And Fred's sister, who Kaylee was,
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't believe the people that auditioned, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, everyone was really great. No butthole on that CGI rabbit.
There's a little bit of it's a little darker, though.
It's a little, well, that's up near the tail, though.
I guess so.
Yep.
Was that a conversation?
No, I don't think so. They do have buttholes in Pets, though. In Pets 1 and 2.
Yeah.
This is literally the parking lot at the Saber building.
Wow.
Those are not crew cars, by the way. It would have been
Yeah.
easy, but they paid to have crew cars come in.
I mean, I guess also like, do you have to sign? Do you get to sign off on locations? Do they show you places or no? You just show up on the day.
Right. Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
for sure. Oh, you know what? I did location scouting with them though. Tim
Yeah,
asked me to go,
this is
but I didn't sign off on them. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
is this
yeah.
what you guys want to do? Sure. I was flying the wall the whole time.
Of
I
course,
wanted
of
to
course.
learn. Even creative decisions that involved writing that I didn't necessarily agree with.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do the best version of that because I just want to make everyone happy. I thought I could go at
I'm
any
interested
time.
in asking different questions now because like
Superstar celebrity cameo coming up, by the way.
this a live action one
Mm-hmm.
is different than the animated one. So there's different things that you would have had to do.
Right.
Oh wow, look at this.
Yeah. Dreams do come true.
How did this happen?
They sent her the script and she said, whatever. She showed up with her dog, who was wonderful.
Okay.
And I went up to her, and because we had to talk about lines, and I wrote, by the way, 1,000 ad libs for her, and she did them in a scene. This scene right here. If you do a job interview scene in a movie, it is such an opportunity to just be funny.
Yes.
And it is great. And I think the ones they used are great. There were better ones, and she was great in it, and James is great in it. Also, she was really flirty with James. I don't know if she wouldn't mind me saying that, right?
No.
And he was very nice.
He's a handsome man.
He's very handsome. But this scene could have been an hour. I was really happy with how it came out.
Was there ever a conversation about making it an
A
hour?
full hour, like my dinner with Andre, right? She
My interview with Chelsea.
I had to go up with her. I had to go with her to talk about the ad libs. And I started talking to her about it. And I went, oh, by the way, I didn't say who I was. I'm Brian. I'm the writer. And she looked at me and she went, I don't know. Congratulations. Like, I'm like, all right. Like, I wasn't trying to brag. This was fun too, because this is literally just an office that I love him, by the way.
Dustin Ibarra.
I love him.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people. Unless you're looking at me like he's not.
No,
nice.
I don't know.
Why are you
I don't
doing
know.
a finger across your neck? I shouldn't stop.
Boy. No, I have no idea.
There's a Office reference here when he says question to James. It was my
sure.
Dwight reference because I love The Office and they were in one. He's great. But this is 2-Up Games you'll see in the back.
Yeah.
I named it.
Cool.
And I'm so excited whenever I see posters.
And you didn't get to keep the sign.
No, but what I did keep was everyone's got an employee badge. So I have one of those in
cool.
my office now.
This is just a regular office building normally?
Yeah, but then they made it look like a crazy video game building.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines there is he goes, Miss Beck, I want to talk to you about my lunch. Why would the male guy want to talk to her about his lunch?
Talk to the receptionist.
Right. This is neat.
Same location? Looks like a college dorm.
Okay, here's another fun thing I can do as a writer. I'm a huge fan of Peter Gabriel. Enormous. He toured with a group called the Blind Boys of Alabama,
Yes, of
who
course.
I love.
Yeah.
We needed a band to tell EB, who's the rabbit, he was good. but how could they not freak out that
Oh
he
my
was
God.
a rabbit? And I said, guys, there's an amazing band called the Blind Boys of Alabama.
Wow.
And they were like, really? And they got them. And I hung out with them and they played all day. It's probably not politically correct that we did this.
No, but that's such an ingenious way to get around that.
And then at the end, by the way, there's a reference that they knew he was a rabbit the whole time.
I think it's okay.
Anyway, two of them are not really blind and had to act it for the purposes of the
okay.
movie.
Well, maybe that's a little different then.
Well, they're not
you should have led with that.
They're not like walking into walls. They have glasses on.
Sure.
They were wonderful. They were really great. This is building up a scene, by the way, that we cut entirely, where EB causes Fred to destroy the whole office, and it was great, stunts and everything, and they just cut it because the audience got annoyed at EB for ruining Fred's big day.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it was very funny.
Now they're writing that on sheets of paper, saying that
they were like, we didn't like how they did, EB destroyed that. So he still mentions it. By the way, I like that Fred knew who the Blind Boys were immediately upon seeing them. Yeah, but the sad thing is the drummer for this showed up wanting to be in the scene, and the joke is they go, where's Ricky? Oh, he's out. Like Ricky's getting, and then Ricky's there with his wife, and we use his real name, so that's exciting that they say it a lot. And
couldn't he have just been sitting singing with the rest of them?
I suggested that, and also at the end, that guy's not really blind. Ricky came in and goes, what I miss? And they all laugh. He goes, seriously, what? Guys, come on. And he was good at it. And they cut it because the scene has to keep moving.
Yeah.
You hear a joke here where Russell tries to imitate the Blonde Boys. He probably shouldn't have done that. We probably shouldn't have put it in, but there it is. So these guys basically send EB on the right path. They say, you're a good drummer. And we know a guy who's always looking for new talent, and they give him. So Blind Boys were 100% my idea, and I'm so proud that they were in it. I love them, and I got to hang out with them. I didn't take a picture with them. I didn't take a picture with anyone. It didn't. Yeah. So he's not this guy, not the blind guy. Hands him not blind. He hands him this, and I fought for this thing to be upside down when they hand it to him.
Oh, sure.
And they said no, and I said they did it in Blues Brothers. They puts up the sign. They go, Brian, Blues Brothers was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
I will also say,
see, they knew he was a rabbit the whole time. Well,
I was gonna say. Their eye lines. They have eye lines, and they're all looking down at him.
Listen, they knew he was a rabbit the whole time. So right there is where a scene happened where Fred destroyed the whole place. Also, it was a huge overreaction on Fred's part to destroy the whole place. And that's Sherman Oaks. That is now a Cold Stone Creamery.
Oh, wow.
I like this scene a lot. I always just like talking scenes. And this is very funny. And
I assume this is on a green
This
screen?
is on the green screen. This is my birthday day as well.
They just did all the car stuff in the same day? Yeah.
And James Marsden is the one that brought out the cake and sang happy birthday to me.
Wow.
You're jealous. I know.
I am jealous.
Yeah. He'll do it for you. He's a nice guy.
Okay, ask him.
He told me many good X-Men stories. We could watch that next, and I could tell you X-Men stories.
Great.
This is a good joke. I'm proud of this one. Dog walker. He's trying to find a new job for him. TSA officer. No. And what about this one? Looks exciting. I'm sorry to read it. That's a car ad. You should buy that car. That's a funny joke. I remember I got a note from the producer, from John and Chris, saying, could you come up with funny jobs? That's why TSA officer, more timely. I'm like, okay, TSA officer? I don't know. This is Hank Azaria and Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie was so fun to work with and didn't tell us he was playing Santa Claus in a movie the same year. So he was Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. And he thought he was
Santa Claus.
Fred Claus? Not Fred Claus.
No, not Fred Claus.
Arthur Christmas. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
He thought we were going to be mad. We're like, well, that's fine.
That's funny.
He was so fun. He'd come to the recording studio on his bike.
He's trying to hit up all of the Rise of the Guardians.
Yes, he's knocking them off. He's going to be the Tooth Fairy next. Look at the TV in the back. That's real, and I should have stolen it.
I mean, here's the thing. You should just take stuff.
No, you can't. You can't. That's Larry Stuckey's line. Larry Stuckey came in and did some lines where he had and he said, why can't Carlos put bunny ears on, try to replace EB? And I was like, that's funny. We'll do that. Larry Stuckey wrote Little Fockers.
Oh, sure.
Very nice guy.
Of course.
Yeah, he was. He started as, who's the director of the Fokker movies? Austin Powers. Jay Roach.
Yeah, Jay Roach. Yeah. Thank you.
He was his assistant and then became his writer.
Wow.
Yeah, great guy.
What is the thing that you're the most proud of in this movie?
I didn't get fired.
Yeah.
At any point.
Which happens a lot.
You know what? I don't know. I think I made it pretty funny. Like I think I love jokes that you don't see anywhere else. And I think there are less of them in this than there are in my later movies. Mm-hmm. But I'm really proud of the weirder jokes in this movie. I also just like I think I made everybody like more likable. When I got the script, it was a lot of like, you ruined my life. Well, I need but in this one there's like the friendship is pretty well done. And by the way, they got nicer because our first test screening was like, there's Mel's Drive-In in Sherman Oaks. You can sit in the same booth that Fred and E.B. are about to sit in.
People do. It's sort of like the Heat booth.
I wish there was a picture.
There's like a photo up on the wall. And
Henry, my son, gets very excited to sit in that one because he likes this movie. I haven't told him I worked on it. I can't wait for that day. But what was I talking about?
Henry, you know that movie we've watched 48 times?
Yeah, you make me watch it no matter what the holiday is.
I tell you so many stories about.
I do not tell Henry stories.
I was the third credited writer on that movie.
I was the second. I'm the second
team. I'm counting Cinco
and Larry Stuckey also wrote jokes for it too. For the record,
do you know if they brought in anyone else between Cinco and Ken?
Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know.
I'll ask.
Ask him right now. Text him.
He won't respond to me at this point. All right, this was a scene that we had a lot of problems with because E.B. was going to have to start talking in front of people for the rest of the movie. So we had to establish, well, are people going to freak out about it? And I thought we should Muppet it and just nobody reacts that it's a big deal. Everybody else said, no, it's not that movie, Brian. There are not a lot of talking animals in the movie, whereas the Muppets there are. Yeah. So we compromised, and Fred says people are going to be mad at you, and the waitress does not care. For a second, she shows a moment. That's Tim Hill's wife, Veronica. She's great. She's in every one of Tim Hill's movies. Does not like Muppets from Space because she was cut from it.
I was going to say, I don't remember her in that movie.
Yeah. She was also casting. She helped cast this.
Oh, wow.
She's great. Really good actress. I should say great actress. I shouldn't say really good. It sounds like I was
great.
leaving room for improvement, but she's great. And then, so this is my favorite line. This was an ad lib from Russell. When I'm going to buy a mansion, and this in a topsy-turvy switcheroo is my favorite word, like series of words in the movie. That was not
a
me.
Very Russell.
Yeah.
Group of words.
Now my love of him is at a topsy-turvy switcheroo. Look, if I ran into him, I'd say, how are you doing and why all that stuff? That's what I'd say. I just like scenes where things are talking to each other.
Yeah.
I don't like when they're flipping around on soap and falling and wrecking rooms. I don't like that stuff as much. Here comes Sam. This is the outfit they went with. She's in workout. And they said, no one's going to understand why that is. Have a line for her where she says, I'm on my way to yoga. And I said, okay. And I wrote it in, and she said, no. And I said, you're right, Kaylee. Absolutely not. So she didn't do it.
But why did they put her in that outfit?
I wasn't there for the fittings. I don't know.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. These guys are great together. And again, this is a scene I love because no special effects at all.
Yeah.
None at all. They're just them being really funny.
One of the few shots in the movie, I imagine.
100%. This is a great moment where Fred starts off by saying how great the job interview went, but each sentence it gets increasingly more pessimistic until he admits it. And it's just it's just Marsden being super funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's great.
How much post time was there on this movie?
We shot the movie in April and May of 2010.
Yeah.
And then it came out in April of 2011.
Okay.
And they were working on a lot of the CG stuff while we were shooting. But yeah, so it was a full year, and it was a year of like every weekend we're getting together and working out stuff. It was a lot of work. I thought when we were done shooting, it was going to be a lot less time on it, and it was a lot less stressful because actors aren't looking at you going, why are we doing this? But it was a lot. It was a lot more time.
Yeah.
We were in the offices all night.
A very E.T. moment right here.
That's right. But it's E.B.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Was that on purpose?
No. I didn't name him, and I don't know if I like it still. I don't like, why would this, I guess the dad would name his son E.B. because he really wants him to be the Easter Bunny.
What's the father's name?
Easter Bunny.
Oh, it's just straight up Easter Bunny.
I called him Chris Meldondry because he's in charge. Sure. And Chris is too.
Sure. Was there a stand-in for E.B. on set?
He was a stuffy.
Yeah.
And it was a rabbit in a flannel. and I have pictures of it. We can put it on our Patreon. I'll put up pictures of me holding the stuffy. And it was
Patreon.com/commentary.
/commentary?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great. By the way, I have it. I just don't look at the
No,
thing.
I know.
This is a great scene. I'm not, and by the way, I'm not patting myself on the back. This was in the movie. I did write he's so warm. That was my joke when he's holding it. I don't get why Sam would not know it's a real thing once you pick it up. Because they feel
heavy.
Yeah. Bony muscles.
Yeah. Maybe, and you don't know this, maybe all of those stuffed animals have bones in them.
All stuffed animals do have bones in them. That's the new animated movie I've been working on. Is what if stuffed animals had bones in them?
Bone story.
I really do like this scene, and I won't take responsibility. Like I won't say it's all me, and it's not. Some of the lines are, but this is the one that when we go to it with an audience, this is the one that they went nuts. They were like the kids were laughing really hard.
Yeah.
I don't love that she eats shit. I'll say that.
No.
She eats shit. And originally, I said we should make it so she's about to, and he takes it from her and eats it so she doesn't.
Sure.
Because you want him to suffer, but she's super nice in the movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, just do it. And they were not wrong because people thought it was funny.
I don't
get it. But I think she's so likable.
I don't necessarily think it's funny, but I get why it's funny.
I know, but it's funnier if he eats it knowing it's shit.
Of course
she doesn't know it's shit.
Yeah. But for a 6-year-old,
I know.
that's funny.
And they don't like girls.
They don't like girls.
Yep.
Even the girls.
This is an ad lib by Marsden coming up when Russell Brand's character shows interest in Kaylee. That was probably an ad lib too. And right there. That's
That's funny.
And we got to film at the Orpheum.
Cool.
And everybody in there was actually somebody that had a talent. So they came in and they not only did they wait online, we got to watch them perform.
Wow.
And this is where EB is auditioning for Hasselhoff. This was so fun to shoot in like the downtown LA. It was so exciting.
Now they all had talents because they do stuff in the movie with them.
Yeah,
or
you'll
because,
see half of them have little moments.
Oh, okay.
By the way, EB's not really there. That's CG.
Oh wow.
There's a moment here where he claws.
But is the
Fred's
backpack CG?
No. He claws Fred's arm here, and he says, "Please remove the claws from my shoulder." And I always wanted holes in the shirt, and there's not.
Oh, sure.
Because he would, guys, he would. I don't understand. Right there. He goes, "Please remove the claws from my shoulder." Shouldn't there have been tiny little holes? Right? Look, it's perfectly clean.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Here's some of the talents.
Okay.
And here's David Hasselhoff coming up.
Now let's.
Another guy.
That's an amazing shot.
I'm very happy that I got to work with him as well.
Is this Crystal?
That's Crystal.
Wow.
I have a lot of pictures with Crystal and a lot of good stories. Crystal's a lovely monkey.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah,
I didn't know Crystal was in this. That's genuinely, Brian, that is genuinely the thing I'm the most excited
Okay, this guy plays harmonica with his nose.
Oh my God.
Not that guy?
Why is this not the whole movie, Brian?
Crystal was very sweet.
Yeah.
This is great too, by the way. He goes, "Can I call you the Hoff?" That was an ad lib from James. Also an ad lib from Hasselhoff, who was not paying attention, just said yes, which was funny. Okay, so Crystal was in Night of the Museum, was in Hangover.
Community.
She's Annie's boobs. Yeah. And her owner is so sweet. Crystal is so sweet.
Animal practice. Right.
Crystal was missing a finger because another monkey bit it off.
Whoa.
Not as a result of Hop. Years before. Crystal was learning a new talent on set. First of all, she loves to draw. I don't know if you're aware of that. I have some of her art. I can find you one if you want one.
Wow.
Yeah. She loves to draw. It's not very good.
Sure, but that's still so cool.
So sweit to watch her do it. Crystal, do you want to know Crystal's new talent?
I want to know everything about Crystal.
Set up for a horror movie.
We should get Crystal for one of these.
She'd do it. Her owner would be great.
Yeah.
He's so nice.
That would be cool.
Her talent was stabbing. He gave her a knife and was stabbing through paper. And I'm like, this is not a good idea to teach this monkey how to stab. Okay, this scene, Hasselhoff wasn't here for the drumming part.
Okay.
We were here at midnight at the Orpheum watching an empty drum set being panned in and zoomed out, panned in. It was so weird. I'm like, this is where we're at in life. Then a guy comes out and plays guitar, but we did not use the version where he plays guitar.
But here's what I don't understand.
How can you reach the foot pedals? That's what you don't understand.
Yeah. How is some of this CG? Like, how are those cymbals moving? Did they have
CG were added later? Yeah.
CG were added later. Even the tops of the drums, though, when he hits them, those move too.
Yeah, they were all added later. Wow. It was all added later. This movie is hugely expensive. No, it was not at all, by the way.
Really? Because it is a lot of CG.
I think the budget was $60 all in.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much did it make?
$180.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Why is there not another one?
Because it was Easter is only a thing in America.
Sure.
But we had ideas where Fred and EB kind of go on to other holidays, but the problem at Illumination is the company that made this. They also made Despicable Me, Pets, Sing, Mario. Now is everything gets a sequel there.
Yeah.
So like they don't, you know what I mean? They can't. What were you laughing at, Jonah? Oh, yeah, we had to explain why he wasn't upset about the rabbit, and that was what we went with.
He says my best friend's a talking car.
By the way, now we were so worried about people overreacting, and now look, he's just hanging out talking to the rabbit. 180 is good, but it's not $1 billion.
Of course. Of course. But I mean, when it costs 60, 180 is pretty good.
Yeah. Any other studio, there would have been
totally.
at least a straight to video sequel to it. It's funny that one of my friends at Illumination was guiding a bunch of Japanese businessmen through Illumination, showing them, props and posters, and they all stopped at Hop. And they pointed at Phil, who's the little chick, and went, Phil. Evidently, Phil is, because they like the cute little animals there.
Wow.
Kids still like Phil there. Yeah.
So we're in downtown LA right now. What's it like shooting downtown?
It's the kind of stuff where you go like, I want this to happen, and you don't think it's gonna.
Yeah.
It was so cool to be working with Marsden and Tim on this in New York, like basically a city. It was, people were sectioned off. People were excited to see James. Like it was so exciting. It was so exciting to do this kind of stuff. And people could, by the way, like I know this movie did not get good reviews when it came out, which was surprising to me because I'm like, we worked so hard, but it doesn't like it was, people like this. I still
it's so
get
interesting because like it's funny.
I still get it. I think it's
funny.
I still get emails about this movie and messages.
Wow.
Yeah, kids are discovering it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be played less this year because of Russell. I don't know.
I mean, that's not new this year.
No, it still gets it. And for a while, I would get a little check after Easter because it's the only live action one I've done, so I get residuals. And it was nice. It was a nice little bonus. No, this movie changed my life. So
same day as the other car shots?
All the same day.
Wow.
Yep. Marsden is so good in this movie. He's acting against nothing.
Now, is that just one wall behind them?
Is that just one wall behind them? What do you mean? It's a full car.
Yeah, but it's not green screen on all three.
It is. It's a wraparound green screen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do they film that?
Cameras, and then they move. It's on.
But just like multiple cameras on top of a car or something like that?
There was one in front and one on the side. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have to switch it.
Huh.
And I feel it's kind of selfish of James. He was not there for EB's coverage. When we shot an empty seat, he did not stick around and talk. So we just set up that
when they're
has
doing
to
that,
come to the Easter pageant with Fred.
Okay.
You have to imagine something funny is going to happen here.
When you're shooting EB's coverage, is someone doing the lines still?
Or
you're still doing?
No.
It's just a shot of it.
Yeah, no, we're just there for James. This was one of my favorite days on set. This is a school or a church, school in downtown Los Angeles as well.
Okay.
And Marsden, this is, for me, I think Marsden's funniest scene, where he's got to play off the rabbit as his. Well, you'll see. You haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it.
He's about to play off the rabbit as a puppet.
Oh,
that he controls. These kids were amazing. I don't know if you see the kid in the frog outfit.
I think I've been. This is a school, not a church.
It's a school. Yeah, it's a downstairs in a school.
Oh, okay.
And it was very hot, and the kid in the frog outfit with the googly eyes almost passed out. Got wobbly, and James Marsden had to unzip the hoodie and help the kid.
Oh my gosh!
So not only is James,
he's a hero.
He's a hero. He then really yelled at the kid for almost passing out. If you notice too, Tiffany is singing very badly in the movie, and she was singing well in the original pass. And then Marsden interrupts a good performance and makes her mad. We lost the audience with the good singing, so we went and
ADR'd
she ADR'd a bad version, which she wasn't thrilled about.
Yeah.
And all the reactions of, oh, she's singing bad, are from another scene, another part of this scene.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is where Fred has to act like he is EB's puppeteer.
That's funny.
And so he kind of gets rude to his dad and stuff.
Sure.
But doing it through EB. I really like this scene.
Yeah, it's funny.
I fought for it to be, it was almost cut. And I said, you are wrong. And I won.
Gary Cole's got great hair.
Gary Cole, there's nothing wrong with Gary Cole.
Nothing wrong with Gary Cole.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Sideburns are nice.
I wish I had worked with him again and given him a nicer character because his character's kind of a jerk until the end.
He doesn't do a ton of voiceover, but he'd be
great.
Great. He's got a great voice.
Look at that kid.
Yeah.
Kid's loving life. Look at the sister. She's mad.
Now, these kids, are they considered featured extras, or
I think
what would you
they
call
got
them?
hazard pay? No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't deal their contract, but I will. Do you want to get one of them just to do the whole movie? Yeah. See, he's very funny. Look at the stupid faces he makes. He doesn't even care.
I mean, doing that without having anything on your hand is very
It's
fun
crazy,
in real
right?
life. Yeah.
I have footage of him filming this scene.
So funny.
He looks like a crazy person. He really does. But look, everyone's enjoying except the dad. The dad won't give him his due accolades. Man, it does go on for a while, though, doesn't it? Maybe the guy was right. We should have cut the whole thing. A lot of stupid rabbit faces. Just move on. There it is. Funny. There's a big ending.
Yeah.
I love Marsden. Life would be easier if I just got to make movies with him.
Did making this movie change your opinion on Easter at all?
I always loved Easter. That's a good question. I always loved it because it meant my grandparents were coming over for the day. Sure. Well, now I love it even more because that's usually when people go, I like that thing you did. Or the internet goes, oh, that fucking terrible movie's coming out. Who's the guy that's like that does the things where he watches and he makes fun of it and he's not funny?
Most of YouTube.
No, okay, but he's pretty famous. He's got glasses and he reviews things and his name is
I don't know.
Anyway,
Larry King?
He did it and he said how unfunny the whole movie was. But in the middle of it, he also does sketches, the sketches were so bad I couldn't take it to heart.
If you're gonna do something like that,
you got to be good.
Like, or just not do that. Don't try to be funny.
I think Red Letter Media can actually be funny.
Sure.
No, I can't. I don't know what to tell you. I think when they make fun of things, they can be. It was not them. If they did it, I'd be like, oh man. But I haven't watched them in a while. Are they still around? Are they still doing?
They're
stuff?
still around.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time with them because I think they contributed a lot to the toxic internet culture that exists today.
Sure. But they also make fun of a lot of the toxic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. People ignore that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is where Fred gets the idea. And
also, if you guys are listening and are fans, I'm so sorry.
I already said I like them, so I'm good. This is where Fred gets the idea to be the Easter Bunny. Mm-hmm. And the audience in the first test screening went, no, you can't.
Okay, so top floor is fake
CG.
It's just one floor?
Mm-hmm. There's a EB saying that he would hook up with Fred. You'll never guess if that line was ad-libbed or not. So this is where Fred presents the idea to him. This was interesting, too, because in this scene, there's contact between Fred and EB, which is expensive. I learned this was one of the first things we did, and it led, of course, the dancing one we knew there was going to be, but here we had to actually say, well, should there be contact because it is expensive. That's why EB doesn't change clothes either, by the way,
because it's expensive.
So expensive to do a new he has a new outfit at the end. That's a spoiler, but he gets a new little outfit at the end.
It's not a new big outfit.
It's a new little outfit. It's a little outfit. By the way, he also had pants. And then Russell demanded the character walk around with no pants on.
I mean, this all tracks.
No. Just kidding. Yeah, this is the contact that costs money, evidently. Right there. Yep. Looks good, though, right?
Yeah.
The cut, they did it well.
Yeah, the cut helps it.
There's a scene here where EB talks about vomiting. And in the first pass, I didn't write the vomiting joke, but when I get a job, I do research.
Of course.
Rabbits can't throw up.
Oh, interesting.
So I added that in. He does talk about how rabbits can't throw up. So for hours, he just hacked. You'll see. Right,
it sounds to me like you love exposition.
I don't, but I maybe want to vomit. Rabbits are physically unable to vomit. I like for kids to learn a little something. Yeah. This was great. I did the voiceover for this too, this fight. And I cursed a lot more in it to make Marsden laugh. Fuck you, Fred. Fuck you. That. And the owners of the house brought friends over 2 days later. I'm like, can we show them some footage? So it's just Marsden being yelled at by me off screen. And it was little kids. I felt like maybe not this scene. But yeah, I cursed quite a bit.
Now, when you're doing that, is it hard for them to edit the audio? Or does he do it?
No,
does he do a? Okay.
We know it. Yeah.
Does he do a pass just by himself?
Do a pass by himself. Okay. It is usually better if there's someone against them. I like the reveal that he's on the back of the chick, by the way. This is one of my favorite scenes too, because again, it's just talking.
Yeah.
I don't like people falling into vats of shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of their views were like, it's too much talking, more vats of shit.
But that's just a personal comedy taste.
Yeah.
More.
I also love to write conversations.
Yeah.
I think it's so fun. This is, by the way, Hank Azaria acting against Hank Azaria.
How
cute is Phil? That's the one, by the way, that Japanese people loved.
I mean, I get it.
Phil's the best.
Do you ever run into problems where you're like, these two characters sound too similar to each other?
Oh,
not vocally, but like, their personalities will blend into each other.
No, I'm a super good writer, and I give each one their own personalities.
Oh my god.
No, I'm trying to think.
Because I can imagine at some point you're just like, well, these guys, I need to make them more distinct from each other. No. Okay.
Not in this one anyway. I'm trying to think. Pets was hard because there's so many characters.
Yes.
Minions, that's not really a problem. This was fun. This is the montage of Fred proving he wants to be the Easter Bunny. And originally, EB was not on board during the montage. And the audience was mad at EB for not supporting his friend once we made the decision to introduce the movie. So in this scene, this is all new. That he says, I'm going to help you. All this. So Fred's not reacting to, I don't know what that face is he's making. It was not to saying, I'm going to help you. So we rewrote the montage to have EB part of it.
I assume
that's actually the pool.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
I assume screenings like that are very helpful because you're like, obviously I want this movie to be as good as it can be.
For sure.
But at the same time, you're like, ugh. That just added so much work for us, Well,
it always is that. It's the day before is my favorite day because I'm like, we finally get to see with an audience because that's what you do it for. And then the day after, I was like, oh no, all my stuff is gone. Now we got to come up with. But it always leads to good stuff. I would think I'm just thinking out loud. Like Minions, we had to cut things that I didn't want to cut because it's for kids, and we went a little adult on jokes. But this movie really didn't. We knew who it was for.
Yeah, of course.
And we have a joke literally where EB's saying he'll hook up with Fred.
That's true. How did that get through?
I don't know. They're like, oh, Russell, you're so cheeky. You don't really mean it.
Yeah. Sure.
And then years later, well,
sure.
But Hop 2, he says he's cleaned up his act. We're all good.
You're in.
Here's a Star Wars reference, Patrick, just for you, because I knew someday I'd be working with you. And right there.
Wow, look at that.
This is James Marsden, first day of shooting, taking a fall.
Oh my God.
He was so excited to do that kind of stuff.
Were there pads?
No.
Off screen?
No,
there. He's just doing it?
Yes. He not in his clothes, but right off screen.
Yeah.
Yes. He didn't hit them, though, you'll notice. Like, he didn't hit the pad.
Yeah.
They're talking about Carlos's butt. And he knows that his butt is good. That's what you get. Originally here, this is great. This is paints it, and he gets frustrated. Originally, and Marsden fought for it, too, he was going to show EB his, and then EB was going to show Fred his, and it was going to be Wolverine. And Marsden went, really? Like that? And he was like, let's do it. And Tim Hill, I don't think he watched X-Men because he was like, nobody knows that. I'm like, everybody knows that. Like, no, wouldn't do it. This is first day as well. Look at this. Look what he's doing. All right, here's where it should be 2 dogs, and it's just 1 because the dogs were getting closer to Marsden. The second one was getting so mad, so now it's just 1.
Are those real eggs that he's painting?
Yeah, well, yes, they are. Yes, they are real eggs.
Look, we're making this the comprehensive,
Look at that.
be all end all of questions here.
We added this so you like EB and Fred's relationship more. That's a still of Fred. He's not moving, and EB cuddles in. That's to show you that they're buddies now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't in there. There's the house. CG top of house.
So where does it stop? It's just the 1 floor.
It's a smaller top, and they've CGI'd the top.
Okay.
That's how EB sleeps. Because he can't wear pajamas because it's expensive. Well, we should have had that joke. Time for bed. I'll just keep this on. It's too expensive.
I do think I missed one detail. Whose house is this?
This is Sam, his sister's boss.
Okay.
He's house sitting.
Oh, okay. Great,
she was supposed to. And Fred was going to ruin the house more and more.
Yeah.
And then the audiences got really mad at it.
So interesting.
We stripped it out. Audiences want to feel good. They don't want to get frustrated for the characters.
Do you think you can get away with them getting
dogs.
frustrated
Watch, they killed the
more?
dogs. Watch, the dogs are dead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Those dogs' eyes are open. They're CG closed.
Really?
Yeah. They were awake. They were just laying down.
You did a reverse blade?
Yes, I did. That's what we called it. Look, more shirts. Butterball turkey. You'll never guess what he's going to do. He's going to fake his death. He's going to fake his death in a parody of Fatal Attraction because kids love parodies of Fatal Attraction.
What I was going to ask is, do you think it's easier for kids to get frustrated at a CGI animated character than it is a human?
Oh, without a doubt. When EB was being mean to Fred, it was fine.
Yes.
And when Fred gets mad at EB, that limo really did have a big sticker of the Huff on.
That's amazing.
They didn't like it. We had to tone it down. Yeah. Oh, so everybody's on EB's side. It's crazy when test screenings. Yeah.
So Hasselhoff is in your script.
Yes. Yeah.
That was who you wanted. That was who you went for.
It was originally a casting director when he was an actor, and then when he was a musician, he was a producer. I'm like, well, let's make it. We had to talk about it. It was the same meeting as Blind Boys. We came up with, let's make it a TV show for David Hasselhoff. Here's a parody of Fatal Attraction. Kids went crazy. You couldn't hear the movie for the next 10 minutes.
Glenn, close.
There you go. See?
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny.
I like when Easter movies are also about this kind of thing. It's one of my favorite shots in the movie is when the things are about to hit him in the face. I love it. It's very action movie. It looks neat.
Are you guys the only Easter movie outside of religious films?
Rise of the Guardians takes place on Easter.
Yeah.
But it's more like there. Doesn't that look cool?
That does look cool.
That's CG as well. And look at the fall he does. Look how good he is. This was the first CG shot I saw finished when Carlos is about to hop on his leg, and I couldn't believe that it looked that good. I didn't know it was going to look like that. This was a real set too. It was so neat. The Easter Island set. Some of it was green screen, but there was a lot of real stuff. It's so cool. Yeah. Not that shot, obviously.
Did you ever consider using a real rabbit?
We did use a real rabbit. That's a real rabbit.
What's he up to?
Well, he passed.
Did he also go all right?
He got me too.
Oh no.
No, he's doing good. He's retired. Those are all fake.
Well, yeah.
Not a one is real.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I saw a real rabbit in the making of this movie. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they probably didn't want to have a real, it would look weird if a real rabbit was there next to.
Right. How funny is it, Morrison, when he says "my humble Easter tears"? Like, it's funny. I like that I wrote it, but he makes it. Yeah, it's funny because of how he says it.
Here's the black licorice we were talking about.
No, not yet.
No,
it's coming.
They just showed it.
I know, but it's coming. Like his here. This is not the first shot. It's that one. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I was like, look at him making faces and everything. I should have written a better movie.
It is like such a huge change from Big Helium Dog. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Like,
yeah,
to
for
go
everyone that
from,
doesn't know, Big Helium Dog was a $60,000, not less than 60, sketch comedy movie that I made 15 years before this. 97.
97?
Yeah.
So to go from that to this is like, a movie,
right,
right.
With a release date.
With a release date, yes, yeah.
I will say this, though. At the table read, Kaylee and Gary and Jimmy and Elizabeth wasn't. I don't know if she was cast yet, and the daughter Tiffany was there. But for the fill-in, we had the leads from Big Helium Dog.
Oh,
and
wow!
Marsden told me how awesome they were. Like it was so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'll say this: that my friend Matt, who was the voice of, who was Charlie, who was the main character in Big Helium Dog, was Phil. And Phil was not written as a frantic character. And while Matt was doing the reading, I'm like, oh, I should have talked to him because he's not frantic. And they loved it so much. He's frantic.
Oh, wow.
Like,
that's
so
cool.
Matt, I wish Matt had done the voice. That would have been great to help with it. But that's not.
We like Matt.
I love Matt. Yeah. Look, it says Egaphone. I did not write that, but isn't that great? So now Carlos is going to have a funeral for EB because he's dead. Because he believes that that's the chicken is EB because he's wearing the shirt. But he locked up all the guys. It's a double switcheroo.
Did you do other table reads before that?
No,
first
we
one?
just did one.
That
We
was
just
the
did one. Yeah. Hank is very funny in this. It's a shame that people can't do accents no more. Am I allowed to say that? No.
He's a very funny guy.
He's great, and he was a real team player. He was like whatever we needed. That said, we probably should have got some.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm not casting. It's important to point that out.
Yeah, and hindsight's
Look what he does to the Pink Berets. He poops all over them.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. By the way, that's the last you see of those characters.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Originally he gets away. He gets in an elevator, and they're in the elevator, and they take him down at the end of the movie. They cut it, so the Pink Berets are dead, I guess. I don't know. Oh, there. This is... Yeah. And then the dad's dead right there. Dad dies. It's horrible. It's very sad. This was, I think, Hasselhoff's... Oh, here's a cameo from America's Most beloved actor.
Is this really at the Orpheum?
But tribute to the Muppet movie. He's talking to himself at the same point in the movie. Yes, that is, by the way, the green room. Thank you. They do not usually. There we go.
It's called the
What?
Orange
What
Room.
the hell?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. EB, I hope there's someone else in there with you. I do like that his reflection is still not moving with him. Oh, he's like, what's that about? Oh, what?
Does he do a different voice?
No, I don't get the joke. He was, again, I want to say he was very nice.
Like, of course.
Very nice to the crew, very nice to work with.
Things change.
That's Goldie. He's the playback guy, and he's also Brian Robbins' playback guy, and he's in all Brian Robbins movie. He's hilarious. That's David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, can we talk about him a little bit?
Wearing a costume he brought.
That's amazing.
Everything he's wearing, he brought. These chairs that say Hoff knows talent, Hoff and Guest, they were missing when he left. It's fine. He can take whatever he wants. He was great. Fantastic.
Were you part of the initial conversations with him? Or did they, when you wrote the script, did they say we want David Hasselhoff in this?
No,
or was
it
that
was
something that
in the room?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that's funny. Okay. Like, let's do it. And I think it was not too long after the SpongeBob movie when he was really cool.
He was very funny.
Yeah. And I'll say this, he was funny. Like, he was very good. And he's got a go with him scene, like a moment from it's a Wedding Singer. Go to him.
Yes,
I did it, and we rip it off in this as well, and he does it really well.
He's really funny in the SpongeBob movie.
He's great in this. Like, it's like, there it is. And then he stands up and says it again. I'm very lucky to have worked. That means a lot to me. Like, I grew up with that show. I thought he was the coolest guy.
Of course.
And he didn't disappoint. He was a cool guy.
That's nice when that happens.
Yeah. And that doesn't happen all the time.
No.
There's literally someone in here I grew up with in this movie that I'm like, oh, you're not so nice to me.
Me?
Patrick, you're not in the movie. You weren't born yet. So here, EB figures things out real quick that it's the Pink Berets when he finds one dart on the ground.
Would you have put me in the movie?
I'm not casting. Who did you want to play? Who would you want to play?
The waitress.
No, that was Tim's wife. I couldn't cast you in that.
One of the heads?
The heads of what?
The Easter Island heads?
You want to be an Easter? Yes, that's Egg Dye that they're about to kill Fred and the dad.
Maybe Hank Azaria's part?
Sure. In Wikipedia, they think that that's not Egg Dye, but chili. Because that makes sense.
So wait, you're saying right now that it's Egg Dye?
It's Egg Dye.
People who are listening to this podcast, go put that on Wikipedia and use this as the source. Cite this as the source.
It is Egg Dye. And you know what? It's weirder. It was pink. It was more pink in person. And it doesn't look pink in this. It's very strange.
So you're blaming the color graders for that.
That line is different in the trailer.
What is the line?
Can I touch it? He goes, he hits him and he goes, there, you touched it. He says that was harsh in the movie. In the trailer, he says he thanks him. He said thank you, but he says it weak because the test audience didn't like that he hurt the kid. All right, here is where we have Carlos say what he's going to do now that he's taken over Easter, and we want to make it real clear it was not because Carlos had an accent that he wasn't ready to be this funny. It was because his ideas were horrible. So he has he has dead crickets, worms instead of candy.
Okay,
like that was like. That's what we went with. Here's the black licorice is coming up.
Was that a real bucket they were in?
That was a real bucket. That's like that, and it was high. It was high. We had Marsden in there. We had a stunt guy. It was fun.
Now their names are Larry and Kyle. Why were they named Larry and Kyle?
Because Larry Stuckey came and helped us with some jokes, and Kyle Balda, who's a director who co-directed Minions 1, directed Minions 2, and directed DM3 with Pierre. He directed our short or our teaser trailer, and he came in and helped us with something, like looked it over and stuff. So it was our little thank you to them.
There shorts on the Blu-ray?
There are, and I wrote it and co-directed it with Chris Bailey, who did all the character animation.
Cool.
It's not good. It's we had to basically it's Carlos and Phil against a white screen, and we had no money, and because Illumination makes their own, but this was Rhythm and Hues. This wasn't an Illumination animation at all. So we could only do a little one, and hopefully it's kind of funny. The problem is Hank Azaria didn't come back to do the voices.
Oh. And
the guy who does Phil is great, and Jim Cummings is Carlos. And he doesn't sound like Hank Azaria, but I think he's very funny in it. The problem is it just doesn't.
Sure.
I don't know. We did the best what we could. And Bailey's awesome in everything he does. He did Runaway Brain, the Disney one, the co-director. So now we're getting the power. We needed Carlos to level up. He didn't in the original pass. He wasn't anyone that EB had to fight. And then when the audience was like, well, I want EB to have to fight someone. Wow. So Carlos turned into this.
So there's a lot
here's the black licorice.
You guys changed a lot.
Yeah. Well, honestly, not like it didn't. We were not down to the wire on it.
Yeah. Did you do reshoots? Because a lot of it seems like also.
I'll show you the reshoot. It's coming up. But it was a character reshoot. It wasn't an action thing or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if this joke is. If anyone gets it, EB survives the next series of Blades because they're carving chocolate bunnies, and he assumes the shape of the chocolate bunny because he is one. But I don't know if audiences get it. I hope they do. Here, it's coming up right there.
Oh,
but he's not in the same position, kind of. I don't know. That's what we meant to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
But this was stuff we needed. This is an actual jump the stunt guy did and had to go to the hospital because he fell wrong. Yeah.
Wow.
It was very sad.
Did he break anything? Or?
He I don't want to leave. We're almost done. I don't want to have this in the audience's head, but course. The bottom of his foot was dislocated. Yeah, it was not a good.
Oof.
Yeah. Can you believe on Hop? Like, how'd you get that accident?
Yeah.
It was on Hop. Oh, so now the bunny or the chick is about to, because he can't be the Easter bunny because he's not one.
Of course.
So the Easter egg the egg of destiny is starting to turn him into one.
I mean, a cool look though with those ears.
I wish there was a doll of it. Boop, and then the tail.
Were there toys?
Oh yeah, there were a ton of them. It was one of the weirdest things to go and get them. I go, oh, that character.
Do you have a favorite one? Oh, I guess you told
Phil,
you said the one about the jelly beans.
I think Phil is my favorite because Phil was not in any of the scripts until I got it, and he kept getting a bigger and bigger part to the point of where he is the solution in the movie. You'll see it's coming up how Carlos is defeated. I love anything with Phil. I love. I don't know, but I'm just happy. I couldn't believe that you write something and then kids are playing with it. It's very strange. It was a strange feeling. And it's still crazy. The Minion stuff is still crazy, and the pets, toys, and.
Where do you keep all the merch from?
I don't have much of it anymore, and some in the storage space. But it got to Minions kind of broke it.
Yeah,
there's too much. So I keep the really specific ones the ideas that I came up with, like King Bob. I have that Hop from Minions, and I actually have a lot of Hop because this movie.
What's the first?
Yeah.
And there was no merch for Big Helium Dog.
No, there is. No one bought it. There's a ton. Mattel put so much into it.
It's the Jar Jar Binks figures in a warehouse somewhere.
They're peg warmers. But Build-A-Bear had an EB with Russell's voice.
Oh wow!
And if you squeeze it again, it's "I Want Candy." I think the song. I never got it, and I still look for it. I'm like, oh, I should have got it. See, Phil is about to.
None on eBay.
No, it's fine. I'm not gonna buy any more toys. I don't need them.
Look.
So this was not the solution in the movie. Originally, they wanted a fight. We gave him a fight, but then it wasn't clever. So we did it. So Phil brings down Carlos by accident because of EB's drumming. And it was funny. I hope. I'll
say this. There's a lot on eBay.
There are?
Yeah.
Oh, people are yeah. The blowback is. Does it look good though? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Here's the best one where he's still wearing the shirt.
Oh no, he's really ragged. He's a little
ragged.
Shaggy.
He's a little ragged. There's some more, but he's not wearing the clothes.
I bet none of the Phil ones are there because Phil is so popular that people keep them.
Yeah.
He was also a Burger King toy Phil, and I have his prototype. They gave it to me. I have a prototype Burger King toy.
Wow.
Yeah, they were nice enough. I have a tattoo of Phil.
That's not true.
No, I don't have any tattoos, but I would get one of Phil if I got it of anyone.
Really? Is that true? Out of any character that you got?
No, I probably do one that I've like a Dick Kingbert. No one knows what that is, but I had a comic strip for a while or something. I don't think I'd get a tattoo of a character I worked on. I don't know.
What about a tattoo of a character you didn't work on?
Yeah, Dilbert, or is that his name?
Yeah, Dilbert.
Didn't sound right because I've been working on Kingbert for so long. I love Dilbert. I love Dogbert.
You love the creator of Dilbert. Everything's fine.
What happened? Is he quote?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
He's sharing space with Russell. Oh, this sucks. Such a good movie and such a happy movie, and bring it down.
The Dilbert movie?
No, this by bringing it down by talking about what happened to the lead character in real life. Again, though, nice to me. I don't know what to tell you. Of course. Look, so he brings Carlos down, and then this joke. Literally any writer would have come up with this joke, but if you don't do it, people will be mad, right? there.
That's so
you
funny.
have to do the and then he gets this, and he wins.
Do you think the reason there are almost no other Easter movies is just because it's a U.S. thing?
100%. That's also why there's no Hanukkah movies. Like, there's such fun ideas you could do with both of them. We had a great half outline for Hop 2, and
can you? They're
not going to do it. It's that they go to the holiday convention, or like they go to a convention of all the holiday icons, and they get taken, and Fred and E.B. for a full year have to do all of them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and then there was time where Christmas, it was just going to be a Christmas one.
Yeah.
There was a recurring joke in the script, and it, like, last minute cut was that everything the Easter Bunny does, Santa has ripped off. That's why he has a sleigh. That's the only reason the Easter Bunny has a sleigh.
Interesting.
And at the end of the movie, Santa is still stalking them, and Fred and E.B. pull out and they hit Santa.
Did you film that?
No.
Oh.
We were casting it when we pulled it. I forget who was going to, it was someone awesome who was going to be
Yeah.
it. And then the last line of the movie is EB going, Fred, what are your plans for December? Like, and then cut to credits.
Oh, wow.
And we cut it. And now people are like, oh, he has a sleigh. I'm like, well, originally that was the joke, but now it just seems like we ripped off Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a funny part. The Easter Bunny hated Santa. Like, they
That's
hated
really
each
funny.
other. Yeah. Well, that would have been the sequel. We would have played with that a lot.
Of course.
Yeah, and it was going to be funny. It was that, you know, they share the responsibility of Easter at the end of the movie, and by the sequel, it was going to be that Fred has fully taken it over to the point of where it's like CVS are stocked with chocolate Freds instead of, and EB works at Chuck E. Cheese. Everyone thinks he's animatronic.
Yeah,
it's the only gig he can get
that's
drumming. And so he's bitter towards Fred, and they were going to get back together, taking over every holiday. It was going to be a full year movie, and they were going to have to get Carlos and Phil back. And they were working at McDonald's, and they had to recruit them because they were fired from this. And we were gonna have a redemption of those two, which is good because people like the chicks more than the bunny. I think, like, really so. Funny. And there's EB's second outfit, by the way, in his Easter bunny outfit.
What do you think happened to them? Where do you think they are in 2025?
They're probably co-Easter bunnying. I'm guessing. This is what every family does on Easter morning. They eat outside. Perfect.
Now, how long do you think he stays the Easter bunny? Like
hundreds of years. I think the dad is probably the Easter bunny for hundreds of years.
Okay.
Oh, this is great, by the way. Marsden wanted to do it like they act like he was hungover, like because we've been delivering eggs all night. By the way, I didn't let him. I thought that was great. Do one take like this, and then they're like, I think a higher up, like an executive from Universal, was on set and was like, "It's not that movie, guys." So we cleaned him up, and it was so good. It's what made it in. It was great. He's really funny. He's really good. So now they think he's really crazy because he's saying I deliver Easter. I was the voice. I was originally the dad, EB, and the chicks are all in this scene, and we cut it, and I was the voice of all of them, and I was sitting next to Gary Cole for his stuff. And I was so nervous because I wasn't nervous with Marsden because I was friends with him at that point, but Gary Cole I was. And I apologized to him in between takes, and he goes, Brian, I've worked with far worse than you. I'm like, okay, I feel better. So
that's very nice.
This was, obviously the sleigh wasn't really there. I'm sorry to bring it down.
Oh.
It was a ladder on a wooden platform like he's painting, and then barrels to sit on. And I said to Marsden, wouldn't it be great? This is the reshoot right here. You can see Gary Cole's hair is a little shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Or a little longer.
Because
he apologized. We wanted
his sideburns are different.
We wanted the moment of apology for them to say I messed up.
Marsden also looks a little cleaned up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, his hair's shorter, for sure.
Yeah.
But it was great to see them. It had been months. So, and Elizabeth came back too, but only for I think she has a reaction shot.
Oh, wow. Same house?
Same house, yeah. Wait, one more thing. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so it was the platform and the ladder. And I said, James, how funny it would be if the movie just ends and that's what you're climbing up and you're insane. And he said, can we end the movie with that? And we asked him and he wouldn't let us.
No, of course not. It's very funny.
Yeah. So one of the last jokes in the movie is that they name all the chicks that are pulling the sled, like Blitzen and Donner. I didn't name them. I forget what writer suggested that. But I think that's see those guys.
Peepers, Biscuit, Buzzy.
I think that's a great line.
Chucky, Clucky.
I'm not taking credit
Feathers,
for it.
Carlos.
And Carlos.
Did you name them, though?
No, he did. I loved them, so I didn't change them. And originally, he goes, one little coup, and suddenly I'm everybody's whipping boy, was the ad line. And it made it, or it was the last line. And it made it to the first test screening.
Oh, wow.
When it was pointed out that, hey, don't say whipping boy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yeah.
That's nice that they caught that one.
Right, for sure. This is This is all test footage for EB that we used, and it was in the teaser trailer. This is what Kyle
I remember
directed.
this being the teaser trailer. I remember that.
This was it. The teaser trailer premiered during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which blew my mind. Kids like things dancing, guys. So
of course,
any dancing scenes, and the Pink Berets song about them is coming back. The one I love, where they just talk about it. Yeah, it was a fun movie.
Yeah,
it was hard. Very hard movie.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It probably took a lot longer to film than with that much.
2 months.
Oh, that's not that bad.
And I'll give you pictures to.
Yeah.
That's Wendy is associate producer and Tim Hill's assistant, and she's probably my closest friend that I made on this set. I love her. I just want to shout her out. I'm not related to art coordinator Caroline Lynch. I like this movie because I know every name.
It's great. I love
met
this.
them except for some of the artists and stuff, but I know the storyboard artists, and there was a huge thing, by the way.
Yeah. One of the stunt guys, Bob Yerkes is his name.
Yeah.
He had been around forever. He was 92. He just died in October.
No, he was the head stunt guy. He was Boba Fett.
Yes.
I talked to him about it. He was the one that got mad. He's like, it's not the kid messed up. The kid that jumped.
Oh, yeah.
I loved him.
He's Ghostbusters, Return of the Jedi, Back to the Future, Ferris Bueller,
great.
Roger Rabbit, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I had lunch
so
with
many
him.
things.
We had lunch one day together. He was so nice. Well, thanks for bringing me down.
Sorry, I noticed his name.
Dance Guru, Ken Dario, he did all the dancing for Phil the
Ken wrote the first draft with Cinco.
With Cinco. Yeah. And you can also see him. You can see the footage on the Blu-ray of him dancing.
Oh, that's great.
See, Blu-rays are the best.
I agree.
I want to do a commentary for this on the disc, and they said they don't move commentaries. Don't move kids' discs.
It's just so funny because it costs nothing.
I know,
and it takes up no space.
I know.
That's why we're doing this podcast.
But I also wanted Easter eggs on the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
because what movie shouldn't any movie, and they wouldn't do that either.
Were you there when they did the score?
Oh, no, not on this one. Not on this one. I know the composer really well, and I got to listen with the director when we got stuff back.
If anyone is in Los Angeles, there's a store called Dark Delicacies in Burbank.
Yeah.
There's a signed copy of the Hops
signed
CD. The composer.
Oh, I'm going to get it. No, there's not because I want
great.
it.
It's gone.
I want it. Rhythm and Hughes was great. They've since closed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were right near LAX.
Oh, wow.
They had a big hangar, and we go and look at footage every now and then, and that's kind of what makes you less tired because you get to see, it's all coming together. It was really fun. It was a fun movie. The storyboard artists made this movie as funny as it was, and a lot of them were left off the credits by accident, literally just a mistake. And I think it's fixed for the home release, but for the theatrical, it was a big deal. I felt terrible, and we worked with them. They were in our pre-production when I was working on the script with Tim. They were the floor right below us, and Jodie Foster was the room next to them, getting ready to do The Beaver, and she was very
a commentary full of adjacent to normal people.
Yeah, so she's great.
She's great.
She was nice.
Yeah.
Our storyboard artists are awesome. Again, James Marsden and Kaylee, two of the nicest people. I've run into Kaylee a couple times, and I'm shocked that she remembers who I am.
That's great.
She's one of the nicest people. Again, I'm so sorry for her career.
Big Bang had already started at this point?
Yeah, no, and I made it clear to her that I had never watched it, and I said, "What? How's the show going?" And she goes, "Well, as you know, Johnny Galecki and my character broke up last season." I go, "I don't know that because I don't watch it," and she was fine with it. She's really sweet.
Yeah.
Can I tell? I have time for a story with her.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Our first day of shooting was at the mansion I was sitting outside working on my laptop outside the pool, and she comes over and we're just talking, and she goes, "Are you on Facebook? I've heard Facebook is weird. Like it's a new thing." It was not a new thing at that point. I go, "Yeah, you probably have a page," and she goes, "No, I don't have a page." And I go, "Yeah," and I go to it, and she has a page, and every comment under every picture, whoever it is puts up, is a wedding, is like a marriage proposal to her, and spelled incorrectly. And I kept reading them to her. And what happened?
Special thanks to the State of California, California Film Commission, City of Thousand Oaks, the Hershey Company, and Kyle Balda.
And I was reading, like, why are all your fans, why can't they spell? And she was like, and as she left, Wendy came over to me and was like, "Brian, you probably shouldn't joke with her just in case she's not funny." Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh no. So I was worried for like an hour because she was going to shoot. And I was working. I was worried that I offended her. She came right back as soon as they all cut, sat right next to me now, and goes, "Let's look at more of those." Like, all excited. Yeah, she was.
Oh, post credits.
Of course, post credit.
Now back on the Universal lot.
Back
I
on the
assume
Universal
you
lot.
shot this the same
Same night. This was originally part of the movie. And
This
we just
is
moved
at
it.
night you filmed this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to walk around the lot.
I found,
yeah. EB is in love with Fred. They keep making that joke. And
well, the movie's done.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
We have to do a wrap up.
How do I? What did I learn?
What did you learn? What did you?
What's it got, by the way? It's got 4.5 stars. 7,000 people
reviewed it. That's
pretty
good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of reviews.
Do you know there's a producer on Peter Rabbit named Brian Lynch, and everyone assumes that it's me?
That's very funny.
And League of Super Pets is another thing he worked on, which everyone assumes is me because of the pets. Yeah.
Wild.
Look at the picture they went with, by the way, of Marsden.
Have you ever met him?
No, he's a Canadian
Okay.
producer. Nice guy. I've worked with people that have worked with him.
Yeah.
And they're very confused when I first started working
so
with
interesting.
them. Yeah. I would love to, just to make it weird.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what's your takeaway from this movie?
It was a hard movie, but it was. I'm so grateful for it, and don't read reviews, guys. Just don't. That's what I learned.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, 4.5 stars.
Oh, people like it. That's kind of what you got to go with.
And it was funny. I'd never seen it, and this was a fun way to watch it.
Maybe the delivery, we had the sound down. Maybe the deliveries were terrible.
I think it helped. I know what James Marsden sounds like. I got it. Yeah, is that what he was doing the whole
and
time?
Russell does a weird voice the whole time.
Oh, like British and yeah.
His
really
his
fast?
temp voice was British.
Yeah.
Like a fake British one. Like I forget who it was. It might have been me. And he accidentally heard it one time. It was they played it back for him, and he goes, "No, thank you for offending me and where I come from." He was great though. He was fun. He really was.
Yeah.
Sucks. Reality sucks sometimes. But movies are fun.
Well, happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Go check out the Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/commentary.
I have a Blu-ray. I'll sign it. We can give it away.
Okay, great.
Hop one.
To the first person.
It's going to be Will Ball.
Will Ball. Shout out to Will Ball, our Patreon friend.
Yeah.
The first person who signs up. Oh, God, I don't even know how to do this.
Oh, that's good. No, the day after Easter this year. The first new person we get.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this message,
any tier, but you have to pay. A paying tier.
Yeah, a paying tier. Yeah. We will send you a signed Blu-ray of Hop.
Yeah.
I'll sign the inside of the cover so you don't see it.
You can you sign the front. Sign it across the rabbit's face.
Okay, bye guys.
Thanks guys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me Commentary Podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Brian Lynch and Patrick Hotner. Music was by Alex Peabody and our art was by Abigail Noy. You can find out more about the show by going to heythat'smepod.com and checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary. The show was recorded by Mark David Christensen. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please tell your friends about this show.